Hello and welcome to the webinar. My name is Pascal Lane, and over the next 40 minutes or so, I'm going to be showing you how any mum can learn to wake up happy, fulfilled, and in charge of your well-being in under 3 months using the Happy and Fulfilled system. I'll show you how you can do this without having to sacrifice your own happiness for the sake of everyone else's, without having to commit to long-term counselling, and without having to find happiness in somebody else. So how am I going to do this? Well, using the Happy and Fulfilled system, which is a 3-month coaching program that I have put together through working with my clients, both in a therapeutic capacity as a counsellor, as a relationship counsellor, and as a coach, life coach, and relationship coach. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the 3 pillars of the work that I do, and this encompasses all of the work that I do, and I call them my 3 pillars because these are the things that regularly come up in my work. These are the things that regularly come up for my clients and are the cornerstones of the work that I do. The importance of understanding your family history, goals and setting goals, and mindset and confidence. So very quickly, a quick overview of why it's so important to understand your family history. And the importance is that your family history is what makes you you. Right? We are all a product of how we have grown up, how we have been raised. Yes, of course, we have our own personality and our own characteristics. That's absolutely true. But the very core of us, the very foundation, is largely determined, not exclusively, but largely determined how we were raised and what family life looked like to us. So what did family life look like for you? Were your parents together? Were your parents separated? Were you part of a blended family? Was it a calm and happy and loving home? Was there a lot of arguing, a lot of shouting, a lot of tension? All of these things, how you viewed yourself in that family and how you viewed relationships will have a huge impact on how you show up now as an adult, as a wife, a partner, as a as a mother, all of these things. Okay, that's why it's so important to understand that. We then have a think about goals. So I encourage all of my clients to give me a really good idea of where they want their life to be. What do you want your life to look like? How have you got to where you are now? What have been the decisions or the events that have happened to get you to where you are now? And where is the gap between where you are now and where you want to be? And then we have a look at confidence and mindset. So your confidence and your mindset is largely how you view yourself, whether you have a good level of self-esteem, whether or not you think you are capable of doing anything, your self-limiting beliefs, the limitations that you put on yourself. And all of this comes together from understanding how you were valued as a child and whether you felt like you were responded to, heard, supported, and then understanding your goals and are you able to achieve your goals, or do you feel like they are out of your reach? Okay, so that's it really, really, really briefly. That is the 3 cornerstones of my work. And that is what I will be encouraging you to do if and when we work together. Okay, so let me introduce you to Jane. Jane is one of my past clients. All of the names in this webinar are changed for confidentiality reasons. Jane is a separated single mother with 2 daughters, very high achieving lady, very in terms of academically, in terms of her career. Everything looked absolutely great on the outside. She was, very into her meditation and into yoga, but deep down she was empty. She was unfulfilled. She didn't know why. She just couldn't really get a get a sense of what was missing, what was lacking for her. So we worked together for 3 months. We did a fantastic piece of work together, and at the end of it, she is, absolutely owning it on the inside as well as on the outside. And she is so much more engaged with her children now. A lot of the work that I do is about how we want to be for our children. What lessons do we want our children to learn from us? As a pivotal part of the work that I do. Now, if you stay until the end, I shall be giving you a little gift. I couldn't decide which one to give you, so I've decided to give you both. These are 2 just short little ebooks, 5 ways to create the future that you want, and 6 ways to live your best life. Okay, so I will be emailing those to you at the end of this webinar. Okay, now let's meet Sandy. Sandy is another single mum that I worked with. Mum to a teenage boy, again very unhappy, a very successful lady on paper, really had achieved so much, has achieved so much, but just felt so unhappy and really couldn't work out why. Now, after our 3-month work together, she is now aware. She's totally got a grasp on, I don't want to call it her demons. I hate demons, but the darkness that was in, not darkness within her, but the darkness from her past. And there was a lot of darkness, and she thought that she dealt with it, but she hadn't. That was really influencing her present. But she's dealt with it now. And she's very happy in her home and work life, and she's actually gone on to take up running, and has completed a 50k run, which I'm unbelievably proud of her, but she obviously is insanely proud of herself. Okay, so before we go any further, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Pascale Lane. I'm a therapeutic relationship and life coach. I am an ex-social worker now. I've got 18 years social work background working with children and families. I then trained during that time to be an attachment-based counsellor. I then trained with Relate to be a relationship counsellor. And then I moved into coaching because I wanted to use all of my skills. And I wanted to work with my clients therapeutically. I think it's incredibly important to understand your past and where you have come from. But I also like to do that moving you forward, setting goals, and being accountable for helping you to move forward. So that is what I do. I've written a book called How to Be Happy in Life and Love, a guide to living the life that you deserve. It's a book I'm incredibly proud of. It's had excellent feedback, and that is one of my little reasons to live. That's my eldest. I'll talk to you about my little girls a little bit more later on. Everything I do for them is for them. I just want them to have the best life possible, and that means me being able to show up, being present, and physically and emotionally present for them as well. And I do the work because I feel passionately about the work because of my own story too. That book, by the way, is available on Amazon if you want to buy it. Okay, so like I said, this is a strategy that I've been using to help my clients, help them with feelings of unhappiness and low self-esteem because of difficulties in their relationships. Now, that might be their partnership, their marriage, their long-term relationship. That might be relationship going back to their past, family. Family childhood issues come up significantly in the work that I do. As I said, that's why understanding family history is a key point of the work that I do. We have to understand that. And once we understand that, we get to make different choices. And that's what the work I do is about, helping you to make different choices. And the relationships with your children as well. Okay, so difficult relationships with your children, or just helping your children to be happy and thriving and successful like you want them to be. Okay, so this works even if you have tried counselling before and it hasn't worked. As I said, I'm a counsellor. I still do relationship counselling as well as doing this. And there's a lot of I've got a lot of time for counselling. Obviously, I hold it in very high regard, but you need to be able to move it forward, right? And a lot of people have said to me, I did counselling, it was just a space for me to vent. I didn't feel like I was really moving on. I did it for a long time and it was helpful at the time, but I haven't really, it didn't do what I needed it to do. Um, that can be a real problem with counselling. Okay. It works even if you are doing the right thing by putting your family's needs ahead of your own well-being and happiness. God, how many times does that come up? And that's wonderful. Like, of course, we want to put our family's needs, especially if it's our children. This isn't an either or. This is about understanding that you can put your own needs at the top of your pile while you are prioritizing everybody else's needs as well. I know that doesn't make sense grammatically, but it's not an either or situation. Okay. And even if you think that your friends have got it worse off than you, because that's another one that comes up all the time, looking at them, I'll come to that in a minute, but looking at them and thinking that they've got it worse off than me, who am I to moan? Okay. So a little testimonial here. I am a much better mummy thanks to you, Pascal. Knowing and doing are two very different things. You've helped me understand my past so I could change my children's future. There is no price I wouldn't pay for that. And that is absolutely what I am all about. Helping you and helping you to help your children. Absolutely priceless. Absolutely priceless. And I speak passionately about it because I've been there. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm very open. And I get it. I absolutely get it. When I first came into, partly through my social work journey, when I came into counselling, when I very first came into counselling, I was just absolutely adamant that I wanted the very best for my children. And in order to have the very best for my children, I had to be able to provide them with a happy home. And that they are my reason for everything that I do. Here they are, my beautiful little girls and my rather gorgeous husband. That's it. I'm not preaching. I'm definitely not on a pedestal. I just want the best for my children, like we all do, right? And that meant being very honest with myself about the baggage that I was carrying around with me, and some of my blocks, and making sure that I addressed all of those honestly, in order to change the outcome for us all. Yeah. Absolutely. That's what I'm all about. That's why I feel so strongly about what I do. That's why I love what I do so much. I've got the best. I have got the best job in the world. I honestly, I really honestly do. Let me introduce you to Kerry. Now, Kerry came to me. Kerry's got two very young children when she came to me to start working together. She was in a very unhappy marriage, and they were actually at the final stages. They were just like, she said, we're talking divorce now. She felt trapped. She didn't know what to do. They were just always arguing. And we worked together, and we got them back on track. Just working with her. I wasn't working with her partner, her husband as well. This was just my work with her. She learnt to understand herself better. She learnt to communicate better. It wasn't all about her. It was about both of them. But it was about how she was showing up in the relationship and how the two of them together were sparking off each other. And actually, she just needed to just communicate better with her husband about what was going on for her, and understand her triggers, and understand how issues from her past, from her childhood, had set her on a certain path, if you like. And it was just about understanding all of this and just working through it together, which we did. She has learnt that her happiness makes her children happy. I mean, we all know what it's like when we're walking around like a bear with a sore head. Everybody's miserable, right? It doesn't mean that we are entirely responsible for everybody else's happiness or misery, but it just means that, we take responsibility and we understand it. That's all that means. Okay. So look, easy way or hard way. I've done it the hard way. I want to show you the easy way. All right. If nothing else, by the end of this webinar, I just want you to have been able to pick up a couple of things that are going to be helpful for you, to be able to help you make some different choices and different decisions. Okay. And understand that there are a lot of things that we are told, a lot of things that we hear, a lot of things that we believe that just simply aren't true. So let's just go through a couple of those. Okay, sit it out, wait for it to pass. It's just a phase. It's a time of life. Okay, how many times have you heard that or told yourself that? That is absolute rubbish. Okay, there are situations where it is just a phase. You might want to wait for it to pass. But if you are unhappy more than you are happy, if the down days are more than the up days, there's more going on here that you need to talk about. And you just sitting and waiting for it to pass doesn't acknowledge your pain or your story and doesn't do anything to give you a different perspective. Okay? Having a different perspective, a neutral perspective, is key. All it actually does is then reinforce your lack of self-worth, that you're not valid and that you're not important. And that's just simply not true. That's absolutely, totally, totally untrue. Okay, another hard way is looking for happiness in a relationship, but never being able to find it. Okay, and this comes up a lot. Trying to find your happiness in a relationship or find it in somebody else. And it's so cheesy, it's so cliche, right? But happiness is an inside job. You can't find happiness in somebody else. You can be happy with somebody else and you can feel different feelings when you're in a relationship, but you can't put all of your happiness, you can't find it in somebody else. It has to come from you. All right, and that's another thing that just compounds your loneliness and your self-worth, your lack of self-worth. Okay, taking advice from friends and family. This is a really interesting one because it's something that we all tend to do and usually is not great, to be honest with you. Your friends have got your best interest at heart, right? They love you, they're biased. They are only ever hearing your side of the story. They're not going to be honest with you because they're not going to want to hurt you or upset you. And just altogether, yeah, of course your friends love you and want the best for you. Of course they do. Honestly, if I look at my circle of friends, I love my friends. I wouldn't be without my friends. I just wouldn't be without my friends. I love them. Not the greatest people to be giving me advice, in all honesty. Not going to start going into detail, but just not the greatest people to be giving me advice. Definitely the right people to be making me feel better, but not necessarily advice. All right, not seeking a professional advice with a neutral person can often have the opposite effect. All right, and that is just the reality. And then before long, your feelings of low self-worth have even gotten worse. And then here's the crux of it, right? Then you're on the verge of demonstrating to your children everything that you don't want to teach them. Now, I go into this a lot in my work. I invite you, if you don't know it already, come to Facebook and join my private group, which is Happy and Fulfilled. Happy and Fulfilled. We talk about a lot of this stuff in there. We expect a lot from our children. We expect our children to be open with their feelings, to communicate effectively, to be empathetic, to solve problems, to be able to be compassionate, to be all of these things. We expect all of that from them, right? They get that drummed into them all the time. Are you demonstrating that to your children? Are you demonstrating that to your children? Do you demonstrate good self-esteem, good communication, conflict resolution, compassion, love, honesty, trust, right? Just be aware of that. Thousands of women and mothers are either lonely, lacking self-worth, and are confused about what to do next. You are not alone. Trust me, you are not alone. And the majority of them make completely the wrong choices when it comes to fixing their loneliness and unhappiness. Okay? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And here's another one that comes up all the time: drinking to numb the pain, overeating to fill the void. Especially over 2020, that was something that was going on a lot. Look, I love my food and I love my wine, right? Absolutely no problem with either of those things. But it's about the intention behind it. If you are drinking to numb out any emptiness, or overeating to satisfy that emptiness, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. That's not a social thing. That's not an enjoyable thing. That's self-medicating. Self-medicating is something very different. Okay, and none of that addresses the issue at hand. And seeking professional support is always key, right? I'm not saying you have to do it with me. Go and find yourself a counsellor. Go and find yourself a life coach. Like, you don't. This is not a heavy sell. This is just saying that often, if you're here now, right? If you're watching this webinar in the nicest possible way, there's obviously something that you are hoping to address, right? Not saying fix, but address. So give yourself what you need in this moment. Okay. All right. Okay. So I feel like, as I said, I get very passionate about this. I feel very strongly about it. And that's why I've developed this. This is why I have developed this, because I've worked with so many women. I've worked with so many couples, and I've worked with so many women. And this program is as a result of all of those lovely women that I've worked with. We can address that low confidence, that low self-worth. We can address all of that. I can help you to have such a great understanding of yourself so that you can provide your children with a loving home. And we all know that that loving home starts with you. Loving yourself, caring for yourself, being compassionate with yourself. All right. This is a system that has allowed me to have happy, thriving children in a happy and thriving home. Look at those faces. I mean, what's not to love about those faces? My little one is so cheeky. She is such a monkey. She's a little firecracker, that one. Okay, so it will help you to wake up every morning feeling happy and fulfilled, knowing that all of your relationships have got love and meaning, but most importantly, the one with yourself. Okay? How many times have you had to fake a smile, put a mask on? Yeah, because you just can't be bothered to either explain it, or you're fed up of being miserable. You don't want anybody to ask any questions, so you just fake that smile, fake the happy disposition, just to get through just got to get through the next couple of hours, and then I can come home and veg out. I want you to be feeling confident and worthy of good things. Yeah, so that is what this is all about. I want you to be feeling great about yourself. Maybe you've been stuck in the same old job. Maybe you've been stuck in a position because you haven't got the courage or the confidence to be able to take yourself to the next level. Oh gosh, I don't think I even mentioned her in here. I work with I think I do come on to it in a minute actually, a lady that was exactly the situation for her. Lovely lady. I think I'll come on to it in a minute. I've got so many ladies that I want to talk about. I can't remember who I've put in here. You will never have to struggle with feeling lonely, isolated, or undeserving. This is about how you feel about yourself. Do you feel that you deserve better? Do you feel like you deserve more, or do you feel that this is it? This is all you're good enough for? Yeah? The Happy and Fulfilled program is going to address all of this with you. I give you my word. Okay, Francesca. Francesca had a hideous separation and divorce. It lasted for years, sucked the life out of her, took away all of her confidence. She had ridiculously poor self-esteem. This is a really high achieving lady, right? This was somebody who you look at on paper and you just think, I can't believe that you feel about this way about yourself. 3 kids, varying in ages, 10 to 20. They were starting to suffer from poor self-esteem. The youngest was starting to suffer with really bad anxiety issues, right? And she just wanted to be able to give them what they needed. But she knew that started with her. In the end, she felt better about herself. She was more present with her children. She was more engaged with her children. Her children turned a corner and her business was thriving. And the thing that I love about this one is that she then started to implement she started doing workshops. She wasn't in coaching or anything like that. She was actually in the legal profession. She then started doing workshops using the tools that I had shown her to help other women in her position to increase their confidence and excel in the workplace, which was what her thing was all about. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. So you can do the counselling, you can do the meditation classes, you can read all the self-help books that you want, speak to friends and family, and still feel desperately unhappy and alone if you don't understand where that unhappiness comes from. For every day that you spend implementing the Happy and Fulfilled program, you're going to be closer to having a happy family home. You could sit it out and wait for it to pass, right? Or speak to your friends and family, but it doesn't work in the long term. I give you my word, it is not a long-term solution. You will never wake up feeling happy and fulfilled with yourself, right? In all of your relationships, but most importantly, the one with yourself, if you don't get to the crux of it and start implementing the changes that you need. There is always a different way. Christina, lovely lady, had a very abusive father. Her parents were in a very abusive relationship, verbally abusive relationship. There was no physical violence. She referred to her mum as a doormat, right? She didn't want to mimic that. She didn't want to grow up. She didn't want to be in a relationship and her daughter to grow up with the same attitudes that she did. And what happened was that she was in a very volatile relationship because she felt like she needed to be really fiery and really aggressive to assert herself so that she wouldn't be the doormat that she saw her mother being. And the reality was that her daughter was growing up in exactly the same toxic environment that she grew up in. She just didn't see it. Okay, now her and her husband are communicating so much better. She's modeling to her daughter exactly what she wants for her. She understands her triggers, right? Life isn't perfect. This isn't about I never turned her into Mary Poppins. It was just about helping her to understand her triggers. So, do you want to waste time, waste money and energy just to stay stuck? And not maintain any long-term change, or are you ready to invest in yourself, take the time, spend the money and the energy to get the most amount of progress? A person who is lonely and lacking in self-esteem will ultimately invest in coaching to get the best results. Okay, just the reality. My £20,000 mistake. My £20,000 mistake was that I thought I would save a load of money by not paying for help. Not paying for help when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, just made my low self-esteem, my lack of self-worth even worse. And that went on for about 5 years. This is where I'm at now. Not a polished product, right? I've still have moments of doubt. I am not 100% confident. I am not 100% at anything. I recognize my flaws. This is not about perfection. This is never about perfection. It's just being the best version of us that we can be. How many days, months and years do you think you've wasted because you don't feel that you deserve better. Okay, my lack of confidence, my lack of self-esteem, I called it there um, my £20,000 mistake, was because I stayed in a job that I was very unhappy in. I didn't feel like I deserved better, quite frankly. I didn't have the confidence to move myself out of the situation because I was stuck. It's only once I broke free from all of that that I realised how great life could be if I just stepped up. Yeah, like I said, so I'm going off tangent, all because I didn't have a method to follow until I kind of got it now, and that's why I'm saying I'm doing this now for you guys, because I've learnt the hard way. I learnt the hard way. It cost me a lot of money, and now I can show you the right way to follow, right? So the right way to follow, but you have to be prepared to invest. Okay, this is about finding the money to invest in yourself. All of these things, if you don't have the time for yourself, you need to be able to make the time to put the effort in to get the right result for you. Women with happy lives and happy children ultimately do whatever it takes to get started. So how much time do you think that you've wasted on meditation classes, mindfulness classes, activities or hobbies, self-help books that haven't worked, right? Thousands of pounds, I reckon. Mini courses, mini retreats, weekends away to escape, whatever it is that you've done. How much money do you think you could have made? Right? This is what I was saying earlier. How much money do you think you could have made if you hadn't have been lacking in confidence and had either put yourself forward for promotion or had taken your own business to the next level, or even just started your own business? 10,000, 20,000 pounds? Easily, trust me, easily over the years. I wasted thousands of pounds. Do you remember Kerry? Well, Kerry was the lady that was on the brink of divorce with the two very young children. She's happy and fulfilled. Her relationship with her husband and children is so much better, and she's launching her dream business. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic for her. I'm so delighted for her. So how much time and money do you think it's costing you not to be happy and confident? Okay, I've got the solution for you. Okay, so you might be thinking, well, hang on a minute, Pascal, what if it doesn't work? Well, let's be honest, it's not really working at the moment. It probably isn't working at the moment because you're here right now, okay? This might not be the right thing for you. You can carry on and you can do nothing, right? That is absolutely your choice. But like I said, doing nothing at the moment isn't working for you. And the reality is that something needs to change. The answer is to have the right method and doing it. Just doing it and getting it fixed. There is always an opportunity, okay? There's always an opportunity. We always have choices. And I've got an opportunity for you here. I want to give you the opportunity to leverage everything that I've learned over the past 20 years, if I'm honest, 20 years of wasting thousands of pounds, of losing thousands of pounds, and about 10 years of my life just trying to find solutions, trying to shortcut, trying to do it the easy way. And actually the reality is that having done it the wrong way, and the hard way. Okay, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like my 20s was diabolical, but it wasn't great. And everything that I've learned to get me to where I am now goes into this program. Okay, this program is my heart and soul, and I've helped so many women, dozens of women, just the same as you, to do exactly the same. So here's my offer. I'm going to like to set up a call. It's 100% free. There are no strings attached. I promise you, I give you my word. There's going to be a booking link coming up soon. Book a time that suits you. We'll have a chat. We're going to talk through all of it. We'll go through the 3 pillars, the family history, your goals, your mindset, your confidence, and work out for you what is standing in your way. Okay, we'll come up with a plan so that you feel like you've got a solution, regardless of whether we work together or not. I just want to give you a space where you feel heard. Okay, so that you can see that you can have a happy and fulfilled life too. All right, it's not a sales pitch. I'll give you my word. I don't do a heavy sales pitch because I don't believe in it. It's just not my thing. I will give you the space to talk through your situation, and that's going to be it. Hopefully we'll end up working together. I'm not going to lie. I want to work with you. I like changing lives. If we don't, we don't. What's the very worst thing that can happen? Okay, you've made it to the end, so you're going to get your free PDFs, your free ebooks, 5 ways to get the future that you want, 6 ways to live your best life. Like I said, the best thing that's going to happen is that we've got a great plan for you, and you become a client of mine and we end up working together. And if not, then it's not a problem at all. I will be reminding you to join my group, which I'll do again in a minute. That's the end of that. All right. This call is the single most important thing that you can do right now. Okay. So like I said, book the call. It's not going to do you any harm. Another testimonial for you to end on. This program is absolutely fantastic. It's really easy to access, makes you think really hard, and think about things that I hadn't considered before. It's brilliant. Thank you so much. Okay. Before anything else, once you've booked your call, go and join the Happy and Fulfilled group. It's on Facebook. I've given you the visual just so you know what to look out for. And I'll be really happy to see you in there. Okay, so any minute now you are going to be seeing a booking link coming up. I am delighted for you to be doing that. I really want to help you, and I take enormous pride in the work that I do. So do that, all right, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. I hope you have enjoyed this. You can email me if you've got any questions at all. Like I said, join the Happy and Fulfilled group, or you can message me on the You Fulfilled page, which is linked to this webinar, You Fulfilled, or just come and find me on my profile and message me directly, Pascal Lane. All right, wishing you all the very best. Take care, lots of love. Bye-bye.